Welcome to everyone watching. Today you are starting a new chapter in your learning journey. These 10 English learning tips are tools that can help reduce your fear, build your confidence, and change the way you speak, think, and feel in English. Let's continue. Perhaps you have tried learning before. You may have downloaded apps, watched grammar videos, memorized vocabulary, and listened to podcasts. Still, you might feel stuck, afraid, or unsure when someone asks you something in English. You might still translate in your head and not feel fluent yet. You are not alone in this experience. Many learners face this not because they lack effort, but because they need the right direction. Here's more. Nobody told them how to actually learn English in a way that feels natural, in a way that actually works, and in a way that builds fluency step by step. Today that changes for you. These tips come from real success, from learners who started from zero and became fluent. These tips focus on real communication, real confidence, and real progress. Notice this. You do not need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. You need the right path, and you need to start now. Let's begin with the first and most important tip. A tip that, if you understand it deeply, can change how fast you improve. Keep listening. Tip 1 involves speaking from day one, not someday. The biggest mistake most English learners make is waiting. Waiting until their English is better, waiting until they learn more words, or waiting until they feel ready. The question to consider is, when will you be ready? You will never feel completely ready. Confidence does not come before you speak. It comes after you speak. There's more to explore. Let me make this very clear. You do not learn to speak English by only listening. You do not learn to speak English by only reading. You learn to speak English by speaking English. That is the main principle. Think about how you learned your native language as a child. You did not wait. You just spoke. You made mistakes and said things wrong. You were corrected, and over time, you improved. That is how you became fluent. The question becomes why we forget that simple truth when we grow up. Let's look at this. Every single day, speak English. Even if it is just to yourself, even if it is just one sentence, even if no one is around to listen. Stand in front of your mirror, look into your eyes, and say, "Good morning. Today I will learn something new. I am strong. I am learning English. I am proud of myself. Today I will talk about my childhood. Let me describe my favorite movie. Here's what happens next." It does not matter if you make mistakes. It does not matter if your grammar is wrong. It does not matter if your accent is strong. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to grow, and growth only happens through action. This connects to what comes next. There are people who study English for 5 years and still cannot speak well. There are people who speak broken English for 6 months and suddenly become fluent. The difference is clear. The first group waited. The second group spoke. So here is your new rule to consider. Something interesting follows. From this day forward, I will speak English every day, no matter what. No excuses, no fear, no waiting. Every time you speak, your brain gets stronger. Every time you speak, your fear gets smaller. Every time you speak, your confidence grows. This is how fluency begins. This is how English becomes your language, not by waiting, but by starting right now, today, this moment. Keep listening. Tip 2 involves training your mouth, not just your brain. Most learners only train their brain. They study grammar, memorize vocabulary, read books, listen to podcasts, and watch movies in English. However, when someone suddenly asks them, "Can you tell me about your weekend?" they freeze. Let's continue. Their brain is full of knowledge, but their mouth does not know how to move. This happens because speaking is a physical skill, just like dancing, swimming, or playing the guitar. You do not become a guitar player by reading a book about music. You do not become a dancer by watching dance videos. You become a speaker by speaking. Here's more. You become fluent by training your mouth again and again until the words flow without fear, without effort, and without panic. Most people think English is only a language. However, fluent English is a habit. It is a combination of memory, rhythm, confidence, and muscle movement. That muscle is your mouth. Notice this. If your mouth is not trained, your brain will feel blocked. You will understand everything, but you will not be able to say it easily. That is why starting today, you can train your mouth just like an athlete trains their body. So, how can you do it? There's more to explore. Step 1 involves shadowing. Take a short English audio or video. 1 or 2 minutes is enough. Choose someone whose English you admire, someone who speaks clearly. Let's look at this. Now try this approach. Listen to the sentence. Pause the video. Repeat the sentence out loud exactly like the speaker. Copy their tone, copy their rhythm, and copy their style. Do not change the words. Do not worry if it is fast. Just try your best. Here's what happens next. Do this for 5 minutes a day, every day. This is called shadowing, and it is a powerful way to train your speaking muscle. You are not just saying the words. You are training your brain to think in English and your mouth to move automatically. You are building fluency sentence by sentence. This connects to what comes next. You do not need fancy tools. You do not need a teacher. You do not even need a perfect environment. You just need your voice, your focus, and your will. Even if you are in your bedroom, even if you are in the bathroom, speak. The person who speaks regularly wins. The person who trains their mouth becomes fluent faster than anyone else. Something interesting follows. No more overthinking, no more silence. Just movement, just practice, just power. So remember this principle forever. Reading gives you knowledge, but speaking gives you power. Train your mouth and fluency will follow. Keep listening. Tip 3 involves testing yourself weekly to track real progress. Let me share a useful principle. What you do not measure, you cannot improve easily. Most English learners study for months and still feel confused about their progress. This happens because they never stop and check if they are actually improving. Let's continue. Imagine going to the gym and lifting weights every day, but never checking if your muscles are growing. You would feel lost and demotivated. You might quit. That is exactly what happens to English learners who never test themselves. Here's more. From now on, you can become your own English coach. You can test yourself not once a year, not once a month, but every week. Not to judge yourself, but to track your progress. When you can see that you are growing, you become unstoppable. Notice this. Let me give you a powerful weekly test system. It is simple, it is real, and it works. 1. Record yourself speaking. Choose one topic, any topic. Talk about your week, talk about your childhood, talk about your favorite food, or talk about a movie you watched. There's more to explore. Now set a timer for 2 minutes. Start speaking in English. Do not stop. Do not think too much. Just speak. After you finish, listen to your recording. Let's look at this. Ask yourself these things. Did I hesitate a lot? Did I forget words I know? Was I confident? Can I say it better? Then repeat the same topic the next week and compare. You will hear your growth over time. 2. Vocabulary check. Here's what happens next. At the start of the week, learn 5 new words. Use each one in 3 different sentences. At the end of the week, ask yourself, can I still remember those words? Can I use them naturally in speaking? If not, revise and repeat. This builds long-term memory, not just short-term learning. This connects to what comes next. 3. Listening challenge. Choose a 2-minute English video. Listen to it once without subtitles. Consider if you can understand 70%. If not, that is your level today. Now watch it again. Pause, repeat, and shadow the sentences. Something interesting follows. After 3 days, listen again without subtitles. Ask yourself, can I understand more now? Can I repeat some of the sentences? That is how real progress is measured. 4. Writing reflection. Keep listening. At the end of each week, write a short paragraph in English. What did I do this week? What did I learn? What was difficult? What made me proud? It does not need to be perfect. It needs to be real. Save it for comparison. Let's continue. Next week, write again. Compare both paragraphs. Over time, your grammar improves, your sentence length increases, and your confidence grows. This weekly system is not just for practice, it is for proof. Here's more. When you test yourself regularly, you build self-awareness, self-discipline, self-trust, and self-motivation. All 4 are more important than grammar alone because grammar can be learned, but motivation must be built. Testing builds it faster than anything else. Notice this. So consider this approach. I will test my English every week because I deserve to know how far I have come and how far I can still go. Tip 4 involves making English part of your life, not just a subject. There's more to explore. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to become fluent in English is because they treat it like a school subject. They treat it like math or science. They study it for 30 minutes a day, then go back to their normal life, thinking, talking, and living in their native language the rest of the time. Let's look at this. That approach does not work well because fluency is not built in a classroom. Fluency is not built by studying rules once a day. Fluency is built by living with English every single day in every part of your life. Here's what happens next. Let me explain this idea. If you want to master English, you can create an environment where English is not something you study, but something you naturally experience. It can become part of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, and even your sleep. This connects to what comes next. It can live in your phone. It can live in your thoughts. It can live in your routine. That is how children learn languages, not by studying, but by living in that language all day, every day. Something interesting follows. In the morning, as soon as you wake up, speak 3 English sentences. Say, good morning, today is a new day. I will grow today. Instead of checking your phone in your native language, change your phone's language to English. Yes, change your settings. Keep listening. This small change forces your brain to see English all the time. Play a 5-minute English audio while brushing your teeth or making tea. Start your day with English sounds. Let's continue. During the day, talk to yourself in English while doing simple tasks. For example, while cooking, say, I am cutting the onions, now I am boiling the water, I need salt. Think in English without translating. Here's more. If you are walking somewhere, say in your mind, I am going to the store, I need to buy milk, it is hot today. If you use social media, follow English-speaking accounts. Turn your feed into your classroom, notice this. At night, before sleeping, write 3 lines about your day in English. Even if it is simple, I had a good day. I studied English. I feel proud. Or record a 1-minute voice message to yourself in English. Describe your mood, your thoughts, or your goals. There's more to explore. The result is that English will no longer feel like a separate activity. It will become your second skin. It will become your second home. It will become your everyday world. Let's look at this. You will not need to remember English because English will become part of your daily identity. This is how fluency is born, not through hard study, but through daily exposure, daily interaction, and daily energy. Here's what happens next. So from now on, consider saying this. I will live in English. That simple change in mindset will change your results forever. Tip 5 involves stopping translation and starting to think in English. This connects to what comes next. Right now, most learners think like this. They hear a question in English. They translate it into their native language. They think of the answer in their native language. Then they try to translate that answer back into English. By the time they respond, it is already too late. They feel nervous, forget grammar, and freeze. Something interesting follows. This happens because translation creates delay, and delay reduces confidence. If you want to speak fluently, you can stop using your native language as a middleman. You can train your brain to think directly in English. Keep listening. Now you might say, how can I do that? I always think in my own language first. The answer is slowly, gently, and daily. Just like how a baby learns to think in language. Let's continue. Step 1. Label your environment. Wherever you are, start naming objects in English in your mind. You walk into your room. Say in your mind, this is a chair, that is my desk, this is my phone, the fan is on, the window is open, here's more. You are not speaking out loud. You are just thinking in English. Do this throughout the day. Step 2. Narrate your actions. Whatever you are doing, say it in your mind in English. Notice this. I am brushing my teeth. I am washing my face. I am getting dressed. I am going to the bus stop. I am listening to music. This helps your brain connect English to real life, not just grammar books. There's more to explore. Step 3. Express your feelings. Start practicing simple thoughts and emotions in English. I feel tired. I am excited. I am a little nervous. I am grateful. I am learning. Let's look at this. When you do this, you are not just learning words. You are building an English mind. Step 4. Ask and answer yourself. Practice small inner conversations in English. Here's what happens next. What time is it? It is 3 o'clock. What should I eat? Maybe I will make some rice. Where are my keys? I think they are on the table. These little conversations build thinking fluency, and that fluency becomes speaking fluency. This connects to what comes next. Step 5. Be patient with the process. At first it will feel slow. You will struggle to find words. You might give up and go back to your native language. That is okay. Something interesting follows. However, consider not stopping. Even 5 minutes of thinking in English every day will make a huge difference in 30 days. After 3 months, your brain will start choosing English naturally. After 6 months, English will become your automatic response system. After 1 year, you will not just speak English, you will live inside it. Keep listening. So consider this approach. I will stop translating. I will start thinking in English even if it is slow, even if it is difficult. I will build my English brain one thought at a time because your brain is like a garden and English thoughts are the seeds. The more you plant, the more fluency will grow. Let's continue. Tip 6 involves learning sentences, not just words. Most English learners make the same mistake in the beginning. They try to memorize long vocabulary lists. They write down 50 or 100 new words and repeat them again and again like flashcards. Here's more. Yes, they may remember a few, but most of those words disappear from their mind after a few days. This happens because words without context are like bricks without a wall. Notice this. Imagine carrying 100 bricks in your hands but never building anything with them. You will get tired, you will get frustrated, and eventually you will drop everything. That is what happens when you learn only words. You carry heavy knowledge, but it never becomes real language. There's more to explore, too. If you want to remember words, use them in sentences. Sentences are not just about memorizing. They are about understanding, feeling, and using. A sentence is like a complete thought. A sentence has structure, emotion, grammar, flow, and rhythm. It is what you actually speak in real life. Let's look at this. No one walks around saying just excited, opportunity, challenge. We speak in sentences. I am excited about tomorrow. This is a great opportunity. I love challenges. That is what makes the word stay in your brain. Here's what happens next. Let's say you want to learn the word confident. Most people write confident equals feeling sure of yourself. However, you can go deeper. You can use it in different ways. This connects to what comes next. Now say these sentences. I feel confident when I speak in English. She looks so confident on stage. I am not confident about my answer. Speaking daily is making me more confident. Confidence comes from daily action. Something interesting follows. Now you are not just memorizing the word. You are living it. You are using it in different contexts. Your brain is now connecting the word with real emotions and situations. When you do that, you never forget it. Keep listening. Learn full sentence patterns, not just vocabulary. Instead of memorizing tomorrow, go market. Learn a real-life sentence like I am going to the market tomorrow. Now you have learned how the verb changes, how words connect, and how to speak like a real person. Let's continue. You are building muscle memory, not just word memory. That is how you speak fluently. So from now on, forget the long vocabulary lists. Instead, build sentence power, because the person who learns one sentence deeply will speak better than the person who memorizes 100 words and forgets 90 of them. Here's more. Remember this principle forever. Words are weak, sentences are strong, words are forgettable, sentences are unforgettable, words are parts, sentences are power. Notice this. So if you want to speak clearly, powerfully, and fluently, stop learning words alone. Start learning sentences. That is the real secret. Tip 7 involves recording yourself speaking and watching yourself grow. There's more to explore. The truth is, what you do not hear, you cannot fix. And what you do not measure, you cannot improve. When you record yourself speaking English, you give yourself a mirror. You give yourself honest feedback. You give yourself proof of growth. Let's look at this. It is not about being perfect. It is about being aware. Awareness is the beginning of transformation. When you speak English, you are in the moment. You are focused on words, grammar, fear, and expression, everything at once. Here's what happens next. However, when you listen back to your voice, you notice things you did not see before. Your pauses, your tone, your grammar mistakes, your pronunciation, your confidence level, and your sentence structure. Suddenly, you become your own coach. This connects to what comes next. You hear exactly what is good and what needs improvement. No need to ask a teacher. No need to fear judgment. The recording tells the truth. It is honest, it is clear, it is personal, and it works. Something interesting follows. Every evening or every weekend, take 2 to 5 minutes. Pick one topic, any topic. For example, talk about your day. Describe your favorite memory. Talk about your dream future. Tell a short story from childhood. Explain how to cook your favorite dish or talk about someone you admire. Keep listening. Set a timer. Press record and speak. Do not stop. Do not worry. Do not try to be perfect. Just talk. When you are done, wait a few minutes, then play it back. Let's continue. You will hear your strengths. You will hear your weaknesses. You will hear where your fluency breaks and where it flows. You will also hear something else, your progress over time. Here's more. Keep a folder on your phone or computer. Name it My English Journey. Record one voice file every week and name it by date. Week 1, talking about my city. Week 2, talking about my childhood. Week 3, talking about my favorite movie. Week 4, describing my daily routine. Notice this. After 1 month, go back and listen to week 1. You will be surprised because now, after just a few weeks of practice, you will hear how much smoother, clearer, and more confident your voice has become. There's more to explore. This will give you motivation like nothing else. Now, you do not just hope you are improving. You know it. You can hear it, you can feel it, you can prove it. That is how confidence is built. Let's look at this. So from now on, consider not just speaking English in your head. Record it, face it, fix it, repeat it, and master it. Even if your first recording sounds terrible, do not delete it. That will become your proof. Here's what happens next. One day when you are fluent, you will listen to that old recording and say, "This is where I started, this is how far I have come, and I never gave up." Remember, the voice you record today will become the voice that inspires you tomorrow. So speak, record, repeat, and transform. This connects to what comes next. Tip 8 involves watching English videos twice. First to learn, then to master. Most people watch English videos for fun. They watch movies, YouTube shorts, interviews, and speeches and think they are learning. Something interesting follows. However, the truth is watching is not learning by itself. Watching is not enough because your brain may enjoy the content. However, if you are not actively training, you will forget 90% of what you saw within hours. Keep listening. That is why most learners say, "I watch English all the time, but I still cannot speak fluently." It is not because they are lazy. It is because they never learned how to watch English videos correctly. Let's continue. So let me teach you the method that fluent speakers use. It will change the way you watch videos forever. From now on, every time you watch a video in English, you will watch it twice. Here's more. Step 1. Watch to understand. The first time you watch the video, your goal is simple. Understand the content. Use subtitles if needed. Pause if needed. Rewind and take your time. Notice this. Ask yourself, what is the topic? What is the speaker feeling? What words do I recognize? What words are new to me? Can I understand the main message? This step builds your listening comprehension. It teaches your brain to listen deeply and patiently, not just casually. There's more to explore. Step 2. Watch to train yourself. Now watch the exact same video again, but this time you are no longer a viewer. Now you are a speaker in training, a student of fluency. Let's look at this. Pause and repeat. Pause after each sentence or phrase. Speak it out loud. Copy the tone, copy the pronunciation, and copy the energy. This is called shadowing, and it is one of the most powerful mouth training methods in the world. You are no longer just hearing English, you are becoming English. Here's what happens next. Focus on phrases, not individual words. Do not just repeat individual words, repeat chunks of language. Let me tell you something. That is a great question. I did not expect that to happen. To be honest, I was surprised. This connects to what comes next. These chunks are how real people speak. When you train with them, you sound more natural, more fluent, and more confident. Speak along with the video. Once you feel familiar, try to speak with the speaker at the same time. Something interesting follows. This is difficult at first, but it builds real fluency. You will stumble. You will miss words. You will laugh at yourself, but after a few tries, your mouth will catch up. Keep listening. Suddenly, you will feel something. Your brain is thinking faster, your mouth is moving smoother, your fear is getting smaller. That is how fluency begins, because repetition is the secret of mastery. Let's continue. One video done right is better than 10 videos done wrong. When you repeat the same video with focus, your brain begins to recognize the patterns of English. You hear grammar without needing to study it. You learn pronunciation without needing a teacher. Here's more. You copy confidence from the speaker without needing books. You build real-world English, not textbook English. So from now on, make this your new habit. 1 video, 2 viewings, 1 for understanding, 1 for training, and do it daily because watching for fun might make you feel good, but watching to train will make you fluent. Notice this. Tip 9 involves creating a personal English zone. Build your environment like a winner. One of the most powerful things you can do for your English or for any skill is this. Control your environment because your environment shapes your behavior. There's more to explore. Your environment controls your habits. Your environment decides whether you will succeed or quit. Think about this idea. A plant does not grow because it wants to. It grows because it is in the right environment with sunlight, water, and care. You are no different. Let's look at this. If you try to learn English in a noisy, negative, lazy environment, you will struggle. However, if you create an environment that supports your goal, you will grow faster than you ever thought possible. Here's what happens next. So now let's build your English zone, your personal private space where English lives and grows. Step 1, your phone can speak English. Change your phone's language to English. Yes, do it today. This connects to what comes next. This small change will make you see English every time you check your messages, set an alarm, open apps, or browse settings. Your brain will begin accepting English as normal, not foreign. You will absorb English without even realizing it. Something interesting follows. Step 2. Fill your social media with English. Unfollow or mute anything that does not help you grow. Follow English-speaking channels, influencers, teachers, motivational speakers, and content creators. Keep listening. Make your feed your classroom. Even if you scroll for 5 minutes, you are learning something. Even your laziness becomes part of your fluency journey. That is the power of environment. Let's continue. Step 3. Create a small English corner in your room. You do not need a big space, just a small area where English lives. Put a notebook there, put printed quotes or sentences, stick post-it notes with common phrases, write your goals on the wall. Here's more. I will speak fluent English. I am getting better every day. My English is improving. Let your room become your language partner. Every time you see that space, you remember who you are becoming. Notice this. Step 4. Use background English all day. When you clean your room, play English audio. When you cook, play English speeches. When you walk, listen to English podcasts. When you rest, play slow English music. There's more to explore. Let English become the sound of your life. Not just a study subject, but a language that surrounds you, touches you, and trains you all day long. Step 5. Protect your mind from negative energy. This is the most important part of your environment. Let's look at this. If people around you say things like, "Why are you learning English? You sound funny. You will never speak fluently," or "You are wasting your time," you can protect yourself. Consider not arguing or explaining. Here's what happens next. Just smile and say, "I know where I am going, and one day I will prove it." Then turn away and return to your English zone. Return to your mission. This connects to what comes next. Your dream is your responsibility, and your environment can support it. A learner with a difficult environment will always struggle, but a learner with a strong environment will grow, even on the hardest days. Something interesting follows. So create your English zone. Make your surroundings your coach. Let your space speak the language of your future. The person who builds the right environment does not need motivation. The environment gives it daily. Keep listening. Tip 10 involves being patient and staying consistent. Fluency is a journey, not a race. Let's now talk about the most important reason why most English learners struggle, even after months or years of trying. Let's continue. It is not lack of talent. It is not lack of time. It is not bad grammar. It is something much deeper. Impatience. Most people start learning English with energy. They feel motivated. They buy notebooks. They download apps. They watch 10 videos in one day. They speak for 3 days in front of a mirror. Here's more. However, after 1 week, they still do not sound fluent. After 2 weeks, they still hesitate. After 1 month, they still make mistakes. Then they stop. Notice this. In their mind, they were hoping for a miracle. They wanted fast results. They expected fluency in 30 days. However, the truth is, fluency is not a short trip. Fluency is a long, beautiful journey, and only those who stay consistent will see the destination. There's more to explore. You spent years speaking your native language. You heard it from your parents, friends, neighbors, and school every single day since childhood. Now you are trying to replace that language with a new one. You are building a new world inside your brain. Let's look at this. Of course it will take time. Of course it will be slow in the beginning. Of course you will make mistakes. That is not failure, that is growth. Here's what happens next. If you plant a seed, you do not dig it out every day to check if it is growing. You water it daily. You give it sunlight. You give it time. Then one day it blooms. English is the same. This connects to what comes next. If you stop after 2 weeks because you still make mistakes, then you are stopping the seed before it becomes a tree. However, if you stay patient and stay consistent, your fluency will grow slowly, silently, and powerfully. Something interesting follows. It does not mean studying for 5 hours a day. It means speaking a little every day, listening to a little English every day, thinking in English a little every day, writing 3 lines in English every day, and watching 1 video and repeating every day. Keep listening. Even 30 minutes of the right practice done every single day will beat 5 hours of study once a week. That is how habits work. That is how language rewiring works. Small repeated action over time becomes massive fluency. Let's continue. You will have bad days. You will feel slow. You will feel like quitting. You will feel jealous of fluent speakers. You will doubt yourself. You will say, I am too old, or I am not smart, or I do not have time. That is normal. Here's more. However, here is what separates winners from quitters. Winners feel all those things, but they keep going. They keep speaking even when they feel uncertain. They keep listening even when they do not understand. They keep writing even when it looks simple. They keep practicing even when no one is watching. They keep growing silently, powerfully, and patiently. Notice this. One day they wake up and realize they made it. So if you are feeling slow, if you are making mistakes, if you are wondering when fluency will finally come, I want you to hear this. There's more to explore. It will come. However, it will only come if you stay on the path. Stay patient, stay consistent, stay on the path, because fluency is not a gift. It is a reward. Only those who stay long enough receive it. Let's look at this. You do not become fluent just by learning English. You become fluent by becoming an English speaker. Not someday in the future, not after you pass an exam, not after someone gives you permission, right now, today. Here's what happens next. You can stop saying, I am trying to learn English. I am not fluent yet. My English is weak. I do not know if I can do this. Start saying, I am a speaker of English. I grow every day. This is who I am now. This connects to what comes next. The truth is that fluency is not only about grammar. It is about identity. If you keep seeing yourself as a weak learner, you will always speak with hesitation. You will always compare yourself. You will always feel like a beginner. Something interesting follows. However, if you shift your identity, if you tell yourself, I am not perfect, but I am becoming fluent, everything changes. Your brain listens, your confidence grows, your actions become stronger. You start living like someone who is fluent. Keep listening. Stop chasing only the result. Start enjoying the small wins. The one new word you used today. The sentence you said with confidence. The smile you gave yourself after finishing a voice recording. The time you understood a podcast without subtitles. The feeling of writing your thoughts clearly in English. Let's continue. Celebrate those wins, love them, collect them. Those small wins are your real transformation. The more you love the process, the faster the results come. Here's more. Wake up and speak English. Think in English while brushing your teeth. Talk to your mirror. Laugh at your mistakes. Feel proud of every sentence. Notice this. Consider saying, I speak English now and I am getting better every day. Let English become not just something you do, but part of who you are. This is not a temporary goal. This is your new identity. Once you become that person, nothing can stop you. There's more to explore. If you remember only one thing from this entire video, let it be this. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. You do not need to sound like a native. You just need to sound like your best self. You do not need to learn everything today. You just need to grow every day. Let's look at this. Fall in love with that process. Make it part of your life. Make it part of your identity. One day, without even realizing it, you will look back and say, I did it, I speak English now, this is who I am. Here's what happens next. If this video helped you, consider subscribing. More powerful English lessons are coming and you do not want to miss them. This connects to what comes next. Remember, English can give you confidence. It can give you better opportunities. It can give you a new voice in this world. However, more than anything, English can give you freedom. Freedom to express your thoughts, freedom to chase your dreams, and freedom to never stay silent again. Something interesting follows. So consider not giving up. Keep learning because the future belongs to those who speak. You are learning to speak loud and clear.